Psalms 119 verses 1. Great blessing belongs to those who live pure life. They follow the Lord's teaching. 詩篇第119篇1節，行為完全遵行耶和華律法的，這人便為有福。Psalms 119 verses 2. Great blessings belongs to those who follows his rules. They seek him with all their hearts. 詩篇第119篇2節，遵守他的法度，一心尋求他的，這人便為有福。Psalms 119 verses 3. They don't do wrong. They follow his way. 詩篇第119篇3節，這人不做非義的事，但遵行他的道。Psalms 119 verses 4. Lord, you gave us your instructions and told us to always obey them. 詩篇第119篇4節，耶和華啊，你曾將你的訓詞吩咐我們，為要我們殷勤遵守。Psalms 119 verses 5. How I wish I could be more faithful in obeying your laws. 詩篇第119篇5節，但願我行事堅定，得以遵守你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 6. Then I would never feel ashamed when I look closely at your commands. 詩篇第119篇6節，我看中你的一切命令，就不至於羞愧。Psalms 119 verses 7. The more I understand how fair your laws are, the more sincerely I will praise you. 詩篇第119篇7節，我學了你公義的判語，就要以正直的心稱謝你。Psalms 119 verses 8. I will obey your laws, so please don't leave me. 詩篇第119篇8節，我必守你的律例，求你總不要丟棄我。Psalms 119 verses 9. How can a young person live a pure life? By obeying your word. 詩篇第119篇9節，少年人用什麼潔淨他的行為呢？是要遵行你的話。Psalms 119 verses 10. I try with all my heart to serve you. Help me obey your commands. 詩篇第119篇10節，我一生尋求了你，求你不要叫我偏離你的命令。Psalms 119 verses 11. I study your teachings very carefully, so that I will not sin against you. 詩篇第119篇11節，我將你的話藏在心裏，免得我得罪你。Psalms 119 verses 12. Lord, you are worthy of praise. Teach me your laws. 詩篇第119篇12節，耶和華哦，你是應當稱頌的，求你將你的律例教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 13. I will repeat the laws we have heard from you. 詩篇第119篇13節，我用嘴唇傳揚你口中的一切典章。Psalms 119 verses 14. I enjoy following your rules as much as others enjoy great riches. 詩篇第119篇14節，我喜悅你的法度，如同喜悅一切的財物。Psalms 119 verses 15. I will study your instructions. I will give thoughts to your way of life. 詩篇第119篇15節，我要默想你的訓詞，看重你的道路。Psalms 119 verses 16. I enjoy your laws. I will not forget your words. 詩篇第119篇16節，我要在你的律例中自樂，我不忘記你的話。Psalms 119 verses 17. Be good to me, your servant, so that I may live to obey your words. 詩篇第119篇17節， 求你用厚恩待你的僕人，使我存活，我就遵守你的話。Psalms 119 verses 18. Open my eyes so that I can see all the wonderful things in your teaching. 詩篇第119篇18節。求你開我的眼睛，使我看出你的律法中的奇妙。Psalms 119 verses 19. I feel like a stranger visiting here on earth. I need to know your commands. Don't keep them hidden from me. 詩篇第119篇19節。我是在地上作寄居的，求你不要向我隱瞞你的命令。Psalms 119 verses 20. I constantly feel a hunger to understand your laws. 詩篇第119篇20節。我時常切慕你的典章，深知深邃。Psalms 119 verses 21. You tell the proud how angry you are with them. All those who refuse to obey your words are cursed. 詩篇第119篇21節。受咒詛偏離你命令的驕傲人，你已經責備他們。Psalms 119 verses 22. Don't let me be ashamed and embarrassed. I have obeyed your rules. 詩篇第119篇22節。求你除掉我所受的羞辱和藐視，因我遵守你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 23. Even if rulers say bad things about me, I'm your servant, and I'm continue to study your laws. 詩篇第119篇23節。雖有首領在着妄論我，你僕人卻思想你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 24. Your rules makes me happy. They give me good advice. 詩篇第119篇24節。你的法度是我所喜樂的，是我的謀士。Psalms 119 verses 25. I lie here like a dying man. Say the word, and I will live again. 詩篇第119篇25節。我的性命幾乎歸於塵土，求你照你的話將我救活。Psalms 119 verses 26. I told you about my life, and you answered me. Now teach me your laws. 詩篇第119篇26節。我述說你所行的，你應允了我，求你將你的律例教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 27. Help me understand your instruction, and I will think about your wonderful teachings. 詩篇第119篇27節。求你使我明白你的訓詞，我就思想你的奇事。Psalms 119 verses 28. I am sad and tired. Say the words and make me strong again. 詩篇第119篇28節。我的心因受苦而消化，求你照你的話使我堅立。Psalms 119 verses 29. Don't let me live a lie. Guide me with your teaching. 詩篇第119篇29節。求你使我離開奸詐的道，開恩將你的律法賜給我。Psalms 119 verses 30. I have chosen to be loyal to you. I respect your laws. 詩篇第119篇30節。我揀選了忠信的道，將你的典章擺在我面前。Psalms 119 verses 31. I follow your rules closely, Lord. Don't let me be put to shame. 詩篇第119篇31節。我持守你的法度，耶和華求你不要叫我羞愧。Psalms 119 verses 32. I do my best to follow your commands, because you are the one who gives me the desire. 詩篇第119篇32節。你開廣我心的時候，我就往你命令的道上直奔。Psalms 119 verses 33. Help me understand your teaching, and I will follow them. Obeying them will be my greatest desire. 詩篇第119篇33節，耶和華求你將你的律例指教我，我必遵守到底。Psalms 119 verses 34. Help me follow your commands, because that makes me happy. 詩篇第119篇34節，求你賜我悟性，我便遵守你的律法，且要一心遵守。Psalms 119 verses 35. Give me the desire to follow your rules, not the desire to get rich. 詩篇第119篇35節，求你叫我遵行你的命令，因為這是我所喜樂的。Psalms 119 verses 36. Don't let me look at worthless things. Help me love your way. 詩篇第119篇36節，求你使我的心趨向你的法度，不趨向非義之財。Psalms 119 verses 37. Do what you promise me, your servant, so that people will respect you. 詩篇第119篇37節，求你叫我轉眼不看虛假，又叫我在你的道中生活。Psalms 119 verses 38. Take away the shame I fear, your law are good. 詩篇第119篇38節，你向敬畏你的人所應許的話，求你向僕人堅定。Psalms 119 verses 39. See how much I want to obey your instructions. Be good to me and let me live. 詩篇第119篇39節，求你使我所怕的羞辱遠離我，因你的典章本為美。Psalms 119 verses 40. Lord, teach me your law, and I will always follow them. 詩篇第119篇40節，我羨慕你的訓詞，求你使我在你的公義上生活。Psalms 119 verses 41. Lord, show me your faithful love. Save me as you promise. 詩篇第119篇41節，耶和華願你照你的話，使你的慈愛，就是你的救恩，臨到我身上。Psalms 119 verses 42. Then I will have an answer for those who make fun of me for trusting what you say. 詩篇第119篇42節，我就有話回答那羞辱我的，因我倚靠你的話。Psalms 119 verses 43. Let me always say what is true. I depend on your judgment to be fair. 詩篇第119篇43節，求你叫真理的話總不離開我口，因我仰望你的典章。Psalms 119 verses 44. I will follow your teachings forever and ever. 詩篇第119篇44節，我要常守你的律法，直到永永遠遠。Psalms 119 verses 45. So I will live in freedom, because I do my best to know your instructions. 詩篇第119篇45節，我要行在寬闊之地，因我素來考究你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 46. I will discuss your rules with kings, and no one will embarrass me. 詩篇第119篇46節，我也要在君王面前論說你的法度，並不至於羞愧。Psalms 119 verses 47. What joy your commands give me, how I love them. 詩篇第119篇47節，我要在你的命令中自樂，這命令素來是我所愛的。Psalms 119 verses 48. Not only do I love your commands, but I also honor them. I will study your laws. 詩篇第119篇48節，我又要遵行你的命令，這命令素來是我所愛的，我也要思想你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 49. Remember your promise to me, your servant. It gives me hope. 詩篇第119篇49節，求你紀念向你僕人所應許的話，叫我有盼望。Psalms 119 verses 50. You comfort me in my suffering, because your promise gives me new life. 詩篇第119篇50節，這話將我救活了，我在患難中因此得安慰。Psalms 119 verses 51. People full of pride are always making fun of me, but I have not stopped following your teaching. 詩篇第119篇51節，驕傲的人心侮慢我，我卻未曾偏離你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 52. I remember the laws you gave us long ago, Lord, and they bring me comfort. 詩篇第119篇52節，耶和華我紀念你從古以來的典章，就得了安慰。Psalms 119 verses 53. I am overcome with anger when I see wicked people who have stopped following your teaching. 詩篇第119篇53節，我見惡人離棄你的律法，就怒氣發作，猶如火燒。Psalms 119 verses 54. Your laws are the songs I sing wherever I am living. 詩篇第119篇54節，我在世寄居，素來以你的律例為詩歌。Psalms 119 verses 55. Lord, in the night I remembered your name, and I obey your teaching. 詩篇第119篇55節，耶和華我夜間紀念你的名，遵守你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 56. This happens because I carefully obey your instructions. 詩篇第119篇56節，我所以如此，是因我守你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 57. Lord, I decided that my duty is to obey your commandment. 詩篇第119篇57節，耶和華是我的福分，我曾說我要遵守你的言語。Psalms 119 verses 58. I beg you with all my heart, be kind to me as you promised. 詩篇第119篇58節，我一心求過你的恩，願你照你的話憐憫我。Psalms 119 verses 59. I thought very carefully about my life, and I decided to follow your rules. 詩篇第119篇59節，我思想我所行的道，就轉步歸向你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 60. Without wasting any time, I hurried back to obey your commands. 詩篇第119篇60節，我急忙遵守你的命令，並不遲延。Psalms 119 verses 61. The wicked try to trap me, but I have not forgotten your teachings. 詩篇第119篇61節，惡人的繩索纏繞我，我卻沒有忘記你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 62. In the middle of the night I get up to thank you, because your laws are so fair. 詩篇第119篇62節，我因你公義的典章，半夜必起來稱謝你。Psalms 119 verses 63. I am a friend to everyone who worship you. I am a friend to everyone who obeys your instructions. 詩篇第119篇63節，凡敬畏你、守你訓詞的人，我都與他作伴。Psalms 119 verses 64. Lord, your faithful love fills the earth. Teach me your laws. 詩篇第119篇64節。耶和華哦，你的慈愛遍滿大地，求你將你的律例教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 65. Lord, you did good things for me, your servant, you did what you promised to do. 詩篇第119篇65節。耶和華哦，你向來是照你的話善待僕人。Psalms 119 verses 66. Give me the knowledge to make wise decision. I trust your commands. 詩篇第119篇66節。求你將精明和知識賜給我，因我信了你的命令。Psalms 119 verses 67. Before I suffered, I did many wrong things, but now I carefully obeyed everything you say. 詩篇第119篇67節。我未受苦以先走迷了路，現在卻遵守你的話。Psalms 119 verses 68. You are good and you do good things. Teach me your law. 詩篇第119篇68節。你本為善，所行的也善，求你將你的律例教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 69. People full of pride made up lies about me, but I keep obeying your instructions with all my heart. 詩篇第119篇69節。驕傲人編造謊言攻擊我，我卻要一心守你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 70. Those people are so stupid that they care for nothing, but I enjoy studying your teachings. 詩篇第119篇70節。他們心蒙脂油，我卻喜愛你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 71. Suffering was good for me. I learned your law. 詩篇第119篇71節。我受苦是與我有益，為要使我學習你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 72. Your teachings are worth more to me than 1,000 pieces of silver and gold. 詩篇第119篇72節。你口中的律法與我有益，勝於千萬的金銀。Psalms 119 verses 73. With your hands you made me and helped me become what I am. Now help me learn and understand your commands. 詩篇第119篇73節。你的手製造我，建立我，求你賜我悟性，可以學習你的命令。Psalms 119 verses 74. Your followers will see me and be happy because I trust in your words. 詩篇第119篇74節。敬畏你的人見我就要歡喜，因我仰望你的話。Psalms 119 verses 75. Lord, I know that your decisions are fair, and you were right to punish me. 詩篇第119篇75節。耶和華哦，我知道你的判語是公義的，你使我受苦是以誠實待我。Psalms 119 verses 76. Now comfort me with your faithful love, as you promised. 詩篇第119篇76節。求你照着應許僕人的話，以慈愛安慰我。Psalms 119 verses 77. Comfort me and let me live. I enjoy your teaching. 詩篇第119篇77節。願你的慈悲臨到我，使我存活，因你的律法是我所喜愛的。Psalms 119 verses 78. Bring shame on those proud people who lied about me. All I want to do is study your instructions. 詩篇第119篇78節。願驕傲人蒙羞，因為他們無理地傾覆我。 但我要思想你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 79. Let your followers come back to me, so that they may learn your rules. 詩篇第119篇79節。願敬愛你的人歸向我，他們就知道你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 80. Let me obey your law perfectly, so that I will not be ashamed. 詩篇第119篇80節。願我的心在你的律例上完全，使我不致蒙羞。Psalms 119 verses 81. I feel weaker and weaker as I wait for you to save me, but I put my trust in your word. 詩篇第119篇81節。我心渴想你的救恩，仰望你的應許。Psalms 119 verses 82. I keep looking for what you promise, but my eyes are feeling tired. When will you comfort me? 詩篇第119篇82節。我因盼望你的應許，眼睛失明，說你何時安慰我？ Psalms 119 verses 83. Even when I am like a dry wineskin on the trash pile, I will not forget your law. 詩篇第119篇83節。我好像煙燻的皮袋，卻不忘記你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 84. How long must I wait for you to punish those who persecute me? 詩篇第119篇84節。你僕人的年日有多少呢？你幾時向逼迫我的人施行審判呢？ Psalms 119 verses 85. Proud people have tried to trap me and make me disobey your teachings. 詩篇第119篇85節。不從你律法的驕傲人為我掘了坑。Psalms 119 verses 86. All your commands can be trusted. Those people are wrong to persecute me. Help me. 詩篇第119篇86節。你的命令盡都誠實，他們無理地逼迫我，求你幫助我。Psalms 119 verses 87. They have almost destroyed me, but I have not stopped obeying your instructions. 詩篇第119篇87節。他們幾乎把我從世上滅絕，但我沒有離棄你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 88. Show me your faithful love and let me live. I will do whatever you say. 詩篇第119篇88節。求你照你的慈愛將我救活，我就遵守你口中的法度。Psalms 119 verses 89. Lord, your word continues forever in heaven. 詩篇第119篇89節。耶和華你的話安定在天，直到永遠。Psalms 119 verses 90. You are loyal forever and ever. You made the earth, and it still stands. 詩篇第119篇90節。你的誠實傳到萬代，你堅定了地，地就長存。Psalms 119 verses 91. All things continue today because of your laws. Like slaves, they all obeyed you. 詩篇第119篇91節。天地照你的安排傳到今日，萬物都是你的僕役。Psalms 119 verses 92. If I had not found joy in your teaching, my suffering would have destroyed me. 詩篇第119篇92節。我若不是喜愛你的律法，早就在苦難中滅絕了。Psalms 119 verses 93. I will never forget your commands, because through them you gave me new life. 詩篇第119篇93節，我永不忘記你的訓詞，因你用這訓詞將我救活了。Psalms 119 verses 94. I am yours, you save me. I've done my best to know your instructions. 詩篇第119篇94節，我是屬你的，求你救我，因我尋求了你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 95. The wicked try to destroy me, but your rules made me wise. 詩篇第119篇95節，惡人等待我，要滅絕我，我卻要揣摩你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 96. Everything has its limit except your commands. 詩篇第119篇96節，我看萬事盡都有限，唯有你的命令極其寬廣。Psalms 119 verses 97. Oh, how I love your teachings. I talk about them all the time. 詩篇第119篇97節，我何等愛慕你的律法，終日不住地思想。Psalms 119 verses 98. Your commands are always with me, and they make me wiser than my enemies. 詩篇第119篇98節，你的命令常存在我心裏，使我比仇敵有智慧。Psalms 119 verses 99. I am wiser than all my teachers, because I study your rules. 詩篇第119篇99節，我比我的師傅更通達，因我思想你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 100. I understand more than those who are older, because I obey your instructions. 詩篇第119篇100節，我比年老的更明白，因我守了你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 101. I have avoided every part that leads to evil, so that I could obey your words. 詩篇第119篇101節，我禁止我腳走一切的邪路，為要遵守你的話。Psalms 119 verses 102. You are my teacher, so I will always do whatever you decide. 詩篇第119篇102節，我沒有偏離你的典章，因為你教訓了我。Psalms 119 verses 103. Your words are so sweet to me, like the taste of honey. 詩篇第119篇103節，你的言語在我上膛何等甘美，在我口中比蜜更甜。Psalms 119 verses 104. I gain understanding from your instructions, so I hate anything that leads people the wrong way. 詩篇第119篇104節，我藉着你的訓詞得以明白，所以我恨一切的假道。Psalms 119 verses 105. Your word is like a lamp that guides my step, a light that shows the path I should take. 詩篇第119篇105節，你的話是我腳前的燈，是我路上的光。Psalms 119 verses 106. Your laws are good and fair. I have promised to obey them, and I will keep my promise. 詩篇第119篇106節，你公義的典章，我曾起誓遵守，我必按誓而行。Psalms 119 verses 107. Lord, I have suffered for a long time. Say the word, and I will live again. 詩篇第119篇107節，我甚是受苦，耶和華啊，求你照你的話將我救活。Psalms 119 verses 108. Lord, accept the praise I want to give you, and teach me your laws. 詩篇第119篇108節， 耶和華啊，求你悅納我口中的讚美為供物，又將你的典章教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 109. My life is always in danger, but I have not forgotten your teachings. 詩篇第119篇109節。我的性命常在危險之中，我卻不忘記你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 110. The wicked try to trap me, but I have not disobeyed your instructions. 詩篇第119篇110節。惡人為我設下網羅，我卻沒有偏離你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 111. The rules you have given me to follow will be mine forever. They give me great joy. 詩篇第119篇111節。我以你的法度為永遠的產業，因這是我心中所喜愛的。Psalms 119 verses 112. More than anything, I want to obey your laws always, until the end of my life. 詩篇第119篇112節。我的心專向你的律例，永遠遵行，一直到底。Psalms 119 verses 113. Lord, I hate those who are not completely loyal to you, but I love your teachings. 詩篇第119篇113節。心懷二意的人為我所恨，但你的律法為我所愛。Psalms 119 verses 114. Hide me and protect me. I trust what you say. 詩篇第119篇114節。你是我藏身之處，又是我的盾牌，我甚仰望你的話語。Psalms 119 verses 115. Don't come near me, you who are evil, so that I can obey my God's commands. 詩篇第119篇115節。作惡的人啊，你們離開我吧，我好遵守我神的命令。Psalms 119 verses 116. Support me, Lord, as you promise, and I will live. I trust in you, so don't disappoint me. 詩篇第119篇116節。求你照你的話扶持我，使我存活，也不叫我因失望而害羞。Psalms 119 verses 117. Help me, and I will be saved, and I will always give attention to your laws. 詩篇第119篇117節。求你扶持我，我便得救，時常看重你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 118. You reject all those who don't obey your laws, because they are liars and did not do what they said. 詩篇第119篇118節。凡偏離你律例的人，你都輕棄他們，因為他們的詭詐必歸虛空。Psalms 119 verses 119. You throw away the wicked of this world like trash, so I love your rules. 詩篇第119篇119節。凡地上的惡人，你除掉他，好像除掉渣滓，因此我愛你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 120. I am shaking with fear before you. I fear and respect your judgment. 詩篇第119篇120節。我因懼怕你，肉就發抖，我也怕你的判語。Psalms 119 verses 121. I have done what is right and good. Don't let me fall into the hands of those who want to hurt me. 詩篇第119篇121節。我行過公平和公義，求你不要撇下我，給欺壓我的人。Psalms 119 verses 122. Promise to be good to me, your servant. Don't let those proud people do harm to me。詩篇第119篇122節，求你為僕人作保，使我得好處，不容驕傲人欺壓我。Psalms 119 verses 123. I have worn out my eyes looking for your help, waiting for you to save me, as you promised. 詩篇第119篇123節，我因盼望你的救恩和你公義的話，眼睛失明。Psalms 119 verses 124. Show your faithful love to me, your servant. Teach me your laws. 詩篇第119篇124節，求你照你的慈愛是僕人，將你的律例教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 125. I am your servant. Give me wisdom to understand your rules. 詩篇第119篇125節，我是你的僕人，求你賜我悟性，使我得知你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 126. Lord, it is time for you to do something. The people do what is against your teachings. 詩篇第119篇126節，這是耶和華降罰的時候，因人廢了你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 127. I love your commands more than gold, more than the purest gold. 詩篇第119篇127節，所以我愛你的命令勝於金子，更勝於精金。Psalms 119 verses 128. I carefully obey all your commands, so I hate anything that leads people the wrong way. 詩篇第119篇128節，你一切的訓詞在萬事上我都以為正直，我卻恨惡一切假道。Psalms 119 verses 129. Lord, your rules are wonderful. That is why I follow them. 詩篇第119篇129節，你的法度奇妙，所以我一心謹守。Psalms 119 verses 130. As people understand your word, it brings light to their life. Your words make even simple people wise. 詩篇第119篇130節，你的言語一解開就發出亮光，使愚人通達。Psalms 119 verses 131. My desire to hear your commands is so strong that I wait with open mouth, gasping for breath. 詩篇第119篇131節，我張口而氣喘，因我切慕你的命令。Psalms 119 verses 132. Look at me and be kind to me, just as you always are to those who love your names. 詩篇第119篇132節，求你轉向我，憐憫我，好像你素常是那些愛你名的人。Psalms 119 verses 133. Guide me as you promised. Don't let evil rules over me. 詩篇第119篇133節，求你用你的話使我腳步穩當，不許什麼罪孽轄制我。Psalms 119 verses 134. Save me from those who want me to hurt me, and I will obey your instructions. 詩篇第119篇134節，求你教我脫離人的欺壓，我要遵守你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 135. Accept your servant and teach me your laws. 詩篇第119篇135節，求你用臉光照僕人，又將你的律例教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 136. I have cried a river of tears because people don't obey your teaching. 詩篇第119篇136節， 我的眼淚河流成河，因為他們不守你的律法。And 19 verses 137. Lord, you do what is right, and your decisions are fair. 詩篇第119篇137節，耶和華你是公義的，你的判語也是正直的。Psalms 119 verses 138. The rules you have given us are right. We can trust them completely. 詩篇第119篇138節，你所命定的法度是憑公義和至誠。Psalms 119 verses 139. Something that really upset me is the thought that my enemies ignore your commands. 詩篇第119篇139節，我心焦急，如同火燒，因我敵人忘記你的言語。Psalms 119 verses 140. I love your words. Times and again it has been proven true. 詩篇第119篇140節，你的話極其精煉，所以你的僕人喜愛。Psalms 119 verses 141. I am young, and people don't respect me, but I have not forgotten your instructions. 詩篇第119篇141節，我微小，被人藐視，卻不忘記你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 142. Your goodness is forever, and your teachings can be trusted. 詩篇第119篇142節，你的公義永遠長存，你的律法盡都真實。Psalms 119 verses 143. Even though I have troubles and hard time, your commands give me joy. 詩篇第119篇143節，我遭遇患難受苦，你的命令卻是我所喜愛的。Psalms 119 verses 144. Your rules are always right. Help me understand them, so that I can live. 詩篇第119篇144節，你的法度永遠是公義的，求你賜我悟性，我就活了。Psalms 119 verses 145. Lord, I call to you with all my heart. Answer me, and I will obey your laws. 詩篇第119篇145節，耶和華我一心呼籲你，求你應允我，我必謹守你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 146. I call to you, save me, and I will obey your rules. 詩篇第119篇146節，我向你呼籲，求你救我，我要遵守你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 147. I get up early in the morning to pray to you. I trust what you say. 詩篇第119篇147節，我趁天未亮呼求，我仰望了你的言語。Psalms 119 verses 148. Late into the night, I stay awake to think about your word. 詩篇第119篇148節，我趁夜更未換，將眼睜開，為要思想你的話語。Psalms 119 verses 149. I know your love is true, so listen to me, Lord. You always do what is right, so let me live. 詩篇第119篇149節，求你照你的慈愛聽我的聲音，耶和華求你照你的典章將我救活。Psalms 119 verses 150. Here come those who have evil plans to hurt me. They live far away from your teaching. 詩篇第119篇150節， 追求奸惡的人臨近了，他們遠離你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 151. But you are near me, Lord, and all your commands can be trusted. 詩篇第119篇151節，耶和華你與我相近，你一切的命令盡都真實。Psalms 119 verses 152. Long ago I learned from your rules that you made them to last forever. 詩篇第119篇152節，我因學你的法度，久已知道是你永遠立定的。Psalms 119 verses 153. Look at my suffering and rescued me. I have not forgotten your teaching. 詩篇第119篇153節，求你看顧我的苦難，搭救我，因我不忘記你的律法。Psalms 119 verses 154. Argue my case and set me free. Let me live as you promise. 詩篇第119篇154節，求你為我辯屈，救贖我，照你的話將我救活。Psalms 119 verses 155. The wicked have no hope of being safe, because they don't follow your laws. 詩篇第119篇155節，救恩遠離惡人，因為他們不尋求你的律例。Psalms 119 verses 156. Lord, you are very kind. You always do what is right. So let me live. 詩篇第119篇156節，耶和華你的慈悲本為大，求你照你的典章將我救活。Psalms 119 verses 157. I have many enemies trying to hurt me, but I have not stopped following your rules. 詩篇第119篇157節，逼迫我的、抵擋我的很多，我卻沒有偏離你的法度。Psalms 119 verses 158. I look at those traitors and hate what I see, because they refuse to do what you say. 詩篇第119篇158節，我看見奸惡的人就甚恨惡，因為他們不遵守你的話。Psalms 119 verses 159. See how much I love your instructions. Lord, I know your love is true, so let me live. 詩篇第119篇159節，你看我怎樣愛你的訓詞，耶和華求你照你的慈愛將我救活。Psalms 119 verses 160. Every word you say can be trusted. Your law are fair and will last forever. 詩篇第119篇160節，你話的總綱是真實，你一切公義的典章是永遠長存。Psalms 119 verses 161. Powerful leaders attack me for no reason, but the only thing I fear is your commands. 詩篇第119篇161節，首領無故地逼迫我，但我的心畏懼你的言語。Psalms 119 verses 162. Your word makes me happy, like someone who has found a great treasure. 詩篇第119篇162節，我喜愛你的話，好像人得了許多寶物。Psalms 119 verses 163. I hate lies, they make me sick, but I love your teachings. 詩篇第119篇163節，謊話是我所恨惡所憎嫌的，惟你的律法是我所愛的。Psalms 119 verses 164. 7 times a day I praise you, because your law are fair. 詩篇第119篇164節， 我因你公義的典章，一天7次讚美你。Psalms 119 verses 165. Those who love your teachings will find true peace. Nothing can make them fall. 詩篇第119篇165節，愛你律法的人大有平安，什麼都不能使他們絆腳。Psalms 119 verses 166. Lord, I am waiting for you to save me. I obey your commands. 詩篇第119篇166節，耶和華我仰望了你的救恩，遵行了你的命令。Psalms 119 verses 167. I follow your rules. I love them very much. 詩篇第119篇167節，我心裏守了你的法度，這法度我甚喜愛。Psalms 119 verses 168. I obey all your instructions and rules because you know everything I do. 詩篇第119篇168節，我遵守了你的訓詞和法度，因我一切所行的都在你面前。Psalms 119 verses 169. Lord, listen to my cry for help. Make me wise, as you promised. 詩篇第119篇169節，耶和華願我的呼籲達到你面前，照你的話賜我悟性。Psalms 119 verses 170. Listen to my prayer, save me as you promised. 詩篇第119篇170節，願我的懇求達到你面前，照你的話搭救我。Psalms 119 verses 171. I will burst into songs of praise because you have taught me your laws. 詩篇第119篇171節，願我的嘴發出讚美的話，因為你將律例教訓我。Psalms 119 verses 172. Let my voice sing about your word because all your commands are good. 詩篇第119篇172節，願我的舌頭歌唱你的話，因你一切的命令盡都公義。Psalms 119 verses 173. I have chosen to follow your instructions, so reach out and help me. 詩篇第119篇173節，願你用手幫助我，因我揀選了你的訓詞。Psalms 119 verses 174. Lord, I want you to save me. Your teachings makes me happy. 詩篇第119篇174節，耶和華我切慕你的救恩，你的律法也是我所喜愛的。Psalms 119 verses 175. Let me live to praise you. Let me find the help I need in your laws. 詩篇第119篇175節，願我的性命存活，得以讚美你，願你的典章幫助我。Psalms 119 verses 176. I have wandered away like a lost sheep. Come and find me. I am your servant, and I have not forgotten your commands. 詩篇第119篇176節，我如亡羊走迷了路，求你尋找僕人，因我不忘你的命令。